and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Okie doke, here we are. 30 seconds to go. Better start my treadmill. We're doing the Film My Run 500. I've had a bit too much coffee this morning, so I'm a bit hyper. I'm going to start calm down. Ryan Perring says, controversial wearing the Noble Pro top whilst on your trusty MyRun. Yeah, well, you know, the thing is I'm not running enough on the MyRun. I've got this lovely Noble Pro treadmill next to me, and I've not run on it properly, really, very much at all. I've run on it about 4 times, and so I do really need to do some work on it. But it's getting cameras set up for the streams, so that's the problem with it. So I thought, you know, I wear my Noble Pro top because we are very indebted to Noble Pro for sending me this gear. So I thought I'd better wear it, and the Noble Pro is, you know, it is the #1 budget treadmill, smart treadmill for Zwift at the moment. You won't get a cheaper treadmill that works with Zwift that is also pretty damn good. However, you know, this treadmill that I'm on is £2,000 more expensive, and it there are differences. Anyway, here we are. I filmed my run, 500 metres of climbing over 4.2 kilometres. Good morning, Amy Green. Morning, Leo. Good morning, Tina, Ryan, Steve Milne, Clive Finnimore, Sebastian. Hello, guys. Let's get this done then, shall we? Last run before the 100. Stephen Smith is with us. Jeff Partridge, Clive Finnimore, Kerry is here. And there are a few people who haven't managed to start yet, sitting on the start line. We've got a couple of people who've run off, which is fair enough. If they want to do that, they can do that. Leo's only watching for 10 minutes. He's getting his new treadmill delivered today. Fingers crossed. And Steve Milne cannot tag along on the cross trainer today either because he's working. Good morning, everyone. Start putting the incline on. Let's get used to the feeling of 12% in the legs. So we're at 12% incline. We're walking at 5 kilometres an hour. And we'll gradually increase the pace as we go. We'll start running when we get to the next arch. Clive Finnimore says team colours for the 100 miler. Oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. Oh no, I don't know. Should we go naked? Should we do it naked? There isn't an option for no clothes on Zwift, is there? It's nude avatars. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool if you could do that. Just pants. I don't know, Clive. It's honestly like the least of my thoughts at the moment. Red? Should we do red? Only naked avatars, Jeff, not naked, not real naked. Only the avatars. I vote for naked avatars. No, Leo. Well, it is still up. It is happening. But we won't be there, so there won't be any video. So you can run the 5k if you want to. We can run the 5k if we want to, but we will not be there filming it. We won't be live. Well, we will be live, but we'll be live doing the 100 miler. That's why I suggested naked avatars. Yeah, all the people who are looking only at the text in-game and are not listening to the stream. Brilliant. Leo's going to show off his treadmill next week, which would be awesome. And Stephen Smith says, good morning all. Hello, Stephen. Stephen's up on the screen there, under 15. Up ahead of us a bit there. Probably running flat again, knowing Stephen. Clive Finnimore says, commando style. Real runners must remember to wear pants to avoid chafing over 100 miles. Not chasing. Who's going to chase you if you're not wearing pants? Actually, well, let's not go into that. Oh, too much coffee. Too much coffee. Right, you miserable lot. 5.5 kilometers per hour at the arch. We will start a gentle jog. Up onto your toes, working your calf muscles. I do not want to see your heels touching the floor. I know, I shouldn't be using caffeine. Yeah, I should be saving it for tomorrow, shouldn't I? Right, here we go. So 5.5 kilometers per hour now for the next 600 meters as we start a gentle jog now, keeping your heart rate nice and low. Heart rate 101, cadence 160. And we're off. Right, Sebastian likes the idea of red. This is Clive's idea that we should have team colours for the 100 miler. I'm wearing red in real life, but I think tomorrow I ought to wear my Zwift tops. I say tops, I'm assuming at some point I'll change tops. Jeff doesn't want red. Jeff doesn't like red. Well, we can't have yellow because that's Zwift long distance runners. We can't have blue because that's Make Humanity Great Again, Eddie Izzard team. So we're left with green, orange, Zwift orange. Yeah, okay. Zwift orange it is then. How about that, Jeff? Is orange all right for you? Will that make you look as beautiful as ever? Yeah, level 1 orange. Okay, we'll go for that. Amy's going to wear her Zwift top as well. Leo likes green. Jeff will go with orange. Jeff, right? Okay, so I think we'll go with orange then. Right, we'll wear the level 1 shirt. Rugby Raptor, good morning, over on Twitch. Hello, buddy. Nice to have you with us. Yeah, so we are watching Twitch, Facebook and YouTube, and we've got people chatting on all of those channels now. So Jeff and Rugby Raptor are over on Twitch. Leo and Monica and Amy are over on... Oh, and Ryan Perring is on Twitch. Leo, Monica and Amy are over on Facebook. Stephen Smith's on YouTube. So hello guys, thanks for watching, and if you want to ask a question, say hello, do whatever, then by all means go for it. I should be able to answer questions. We are having a nice relaxed climb this morning, as we do every Thursday morning and every Tuesday morning. We run 500 metres up a hill. You'll notice we don't match the game elevation, by the way, so at the moment we're only at 5% elevation on the course, and it looks relatively benign, doesn't it? But on our real life treadmills we have shoved the elevation right up to 12%, so we're covering 120 metres of climb every kilometre that we do. Oh, Monica, what are you doing? It's the middle of the night. Are you on a night shift? Monica is over in the States, where right now it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know why Monica's awake. Did you get woken up by a notification on your phone that I am streaming? Was that what it was? And you thought, right, I'm awake. Or you're on a night shift. at the hospital. Monica is are you a nurse, Monica? Monica works in ICU, intensive care unit over in the States. So she could well be on a night shift. Yes, night shift, look at that, there you go. Right, so 230 metres to go, and then we'll increase the pace again to 6 kilometres per hour. We're keeping an eye on the heart rate, try and stay below 150. If you can keep your heart rate below 150, good for you. Full stop. I always go over that at the end. Ryan Perring is advertising his full Van Top elevation run. So this course that we're on now is in France, and it is a simulation of Ventoux, which is a famous Tour de France climb, cycling climb. It's 21 kilometers long and is 1,600 meters of climb. So in this run we only do the first little bit of it. But Ryan Perring is organising a run up the whole thing on the 21st of March. If you want to see what it's like to run up the whole thing, I do have a video somewhere. You'll have to search on YouTube, Zwift Run Live Van Top, because the Zwift version of Ventoux is called Van Top. So search for Zwift Run Live Van Top running, and I probably should come up somewhere. I've only done it once. That was alright though. Right, at the arch we go up to 6 kilometers an hour, so slightly sped up, keeping up on our toes, and keep working those calf muscles and those quads, keep protecting the hamstrings, but not stretching them out, which is what would happen if you were on a steep climb on your heels, walking, power hiking. There's always a risk on your hamstrings. Rising to 6 kilometers per hour now. Let's do it. Slightly faster for every kilometer. Ryan Perring says Ryan Downey is the brains and the hard work of it, not me. But Ryan will be asleep because he's in the States and he's not doing a night shift like Monica. So that's why Ryan Perring is bringing it up now. But yeah, I think we'll be into that. Nice little 21k half marathon up the hill. Good views at the top. So yes, it's well worth the climb. Monica says, looking great, guys. Be the Tortoise is on YouTube, doing my 4th 5k in a row in an hour. The most I've ran in a week in 20 years. Wow. What is that, 5k every day? So Be the Tortoise, I think Be the Tortoise is saying they've run 5k every day for the last 4 days. And that's the most they've ran in 20 years. Amazing. Keep it up then. I want a whole week of 5Ks. At least a week of 5Ks. Heart rate 132. Cadence 165. Oh, what's that all about? Heart rate 132, P 165? Makes no sense whatsoever. Be the Tortoise is doing the Under Armour series. You don't have to do them all in a row, you know. You can spread them out over the month. Jeff Partridge, heart rate is 122, cadence 166. Clive Finnemore, heart rate of 120, cadence 164. So we're all doing a nice short stride. So short stride length, and for this speed, relatively quick cadence. So it's 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. That's the kind of speed that my feet are going. Be the Tortoise says, I know about not having to do them all in a row, but I fancied doing them to test myself. Good, nice job. Well, keep it going, and you'll be done. You'll be done in a week. You'll have done all of them in a week. Stephen Smith says, Saturday morning I may do a few easy miles with you in the gang. So if you're not aware of what's happening tomorrow evening, UK time 8 PM, we're starting a 100-mile run. And there are quite a few of us now going to start this thing. And then we'll see how far everyone gets. We're aiming for 100 miles in 24 hours. I've done it once before on the treadmill, so I'm hoping we can do it again. Yeah, so Sebastian's going 1 2 1 2 as well. Difficult to tell how fast your feet are going from just the text there, but I get the point. Yeah, so last time I did it, it was 24 and a half hours. So I think we need to go a little bit quicker this time to try and get rid of that half an hour. Sebastian's heart rate is 150, cadence is 146. So slower cadence, longer stride length, but heart rate is higher. But Seb is getting used to 12% because he's just recently got a MyRun treadmill, same as this one that I'm using now. Oh, hello, the new camera, by the way. Well, it's not a new camera, but it's a new position for a camera. I'm going to have my shower, whether you like it or not, Partridge. Look, when you're at home, you've got to take advantage of your creature comforts. You can't have a shower whilst you're halfway up a mountain in France, or running along the coast path in Cornwall, or even running along the banks of the River Thames. You can't have a shower halfway. But if I'm at home and I can jump in a shower quickly and freshen up, I'm bloody well going to. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Who knows? Oh God, yeah. Ryan says, make sure to add a fast, flat, horrible road part to the 100 to mimic the mousehole section. Now I can never say the name. I always call it Marazian, but it's not, is it? Is it Marazian? I can never remember how to pronounce that word. Be the Tortoise. Not necessarily, no. Says, is lower cadence better to keep your lower heart rate? No. Not necessarily. In fact, a higher cadence is generally more efficient. So short strides. Yeah, Marazion. Okay, thank you. Short strides, fast cadence. That will be more efficient, especially with this kind of climbing. You're putting more pressure on the knees and more pressure on your back if you're doing a longer stride length. your form won't be as good climbing a hill with a big long stride. So it's just little steps. Okay, Amy is going to try and stick with us for at least 50... is this tomorrow? You're going to try and stay with us for 50 miles tomorrow? That'd be amazing. Well, we should definitely try and stick together. I mean, I don't want people to feel like they've got to stay with me. And I also don't want people to feel like I'm holding them back or dragging them, you know, where they don't want to go. So if you don't need a break, if you don't feel like you need a break, you don't necessarily have to take one, but obviously that would mean we're not running together. I mean, without wanting to sound like a total dick and a big head, I think regular breaks is important on a run like this, from experience. So if you want to try and trust me and stay with me, that the breaks when we have them are important. Not too long, just enough to have a quick drink, freshen up, and stretch out, and then get back on it. But you've got to run your own race. So I don't want to force anyone to stay with me over the 100. Jeff says it wouldn't be the first time you've held me back. Oh dear. I miss the Arc of Attrition so much. I mean, part of the thing about your knees getting sore, this is Be the Tortoise on YouTube, is strengthen your glutes, strengthen your back, core strength, but also good form. So, you know, if you can keep good form, so nice and straight up. See how I am now? So a straight body, not leaning forward. A straight body, nice short strides, nice and easy, comfortable, not big long strides and leaning forward. I mean, sometimes people do that during power hiking, and it's always a risk, but it can be quicker. Okay, here we go, up to 6.5 now. 6.5 kilometers an hour. Keep on those toes. See, I mean, I could stop, I could walk this, but I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to put my hands on my thighs. See, look. Put my hands on my thighs. Rest down, I'm leaning forward. Now, that's fine, but I think you are using more energy that way. This is maybe in a half marathon trail run or a marathon trail run, or if you're an elite athlete who's banging it all the way through a 100. That's how a lot of the faster runners climb hills. But when you're conserving energy, even the elite runners, you look at some of the elite runners and they will be running like this. Short strides, up on their toes, using their calf muscles. And that is more efficient in the long term. John Crawford says, what pace will you be running on Saturday? Friday, Saturday night we'll be going around about an average of 7.2 kilometers per hour, but on the flat I think we're going to go for about 7.5. So, you know, slow, but over 100 miles, you'll still feel it. And to get 100 miles done, say you were to just run consistently with no breaks at all for 100 miles in 24 hours, you'd be running at 6.8 kilometers per hour. But we're going to have some breaks, so we need to account for that. So we do need to run a bit quicker. Also, we're doing full elevation. So when we're climbing up the Alpe de Zwift, for example, at 8% incline, we are going to be walking. And we're going to be walking pretty slowly. So we need to make up that time. So that's why I think we need to go around about 7.5 kilometers per hour. Yeah, Ryan Perring, the more upright you can be, the less you load your poor knees. Something I've had to learn, says Ryan. Yeah, it's just about centre of gravity. Keeping your centre of gravity as evenly distributed over your hips and in line with the ground as possible. Which is why landing midfoot when you run is also deemed to be the most efficient way to run. Because if you land forefoot, or if you land, well, certainly if you land rather heel strike, then it's likely that your foot is landing in front of your body and therefore causing more strain on your muscles, not as efficient running. Right, my heart rate is already 144. So at the beginning of the run tomorrow, honestly, it will feel so slow and so easy, and you'll wonder why on earth we're going so slowly. But trust me, when we get to 100 kilometers, you'll think that that same speed is just too fast. And when you get to 100 miles, you'll be glad it's over. Believe me. If you've managed to stick it out for 100 miles at 7.5 kilometers per hour, you've done a damn good job. Right, there we are, 2.5k done, 1.7 to go of the Film My Run 500. Oh yeah, let me drop some ride-ons to everyone. So up ahead, Belmonte, Remigio, Belmonte from Spain, Remigio from Italy, Place from the UK, 5.5 minutes ahead. So they've all gone off like the clappers, doing probably a more intensive heart rate session. This is not a cardio session. We're trying to keep our heart rate low. Belmonte is like nearly 9 minutes ahead of us, doing 3.26 kilometers per hour. I bet he's not on his toes, and I bet he's not at 12% elevation. Right, Jeff Partridge yesterday went nutrition shopping, ready for tomorrow. He felt very embarrassed at the checkout with the amount of rubbish food. Well, we'll let you off. What rubbish food have you got then? I think I'm probably going to be having rice pudding and sandwiches and soup, vegetable soup, probably, that kind of stuff. I'm going to try and stay away from sweets and chocolate and sugary stuff. I mean, I'm going to have some of it, and probably some fizzy drinks as well, Red Bull, that kind of stuff, but not loads of it, just to kind of give me that little extra boost occasionally. But mostly we're going to be fueled on slow release carbs. Amy is sending her husband out later for food. All the food that she needs for the run tomorrow. You will find tomorrow during the day pretty horrible, by the way. You just be waiting and waiting for 8 o'clock to come around. It's such a rubbish time. That is possibly the worst time of any ultra, is waiting for it to start. And it's okay if it starts early in the morning because you've got a night's sleep. But some races that I've done start at 11 o'clock at night. And yeah, just horrible waiting for the whole day for the race time to come. Until recently, Ryan says rubbish food was his normal diet. Yeah, sweets and fizzy drinks. I know. You just have to buy them all at a skanky shop where you know they don't give a toss. If you buy it all at Waitrose, then yeah, you'll definitely get some funny looks. But if you just go to somewhere rubbish, in some dodgy area, where they all live off that stuff, gosh, that's very judgmental of me, isn't it? But you all know what I'm saying. Yeah, the plague starting at midnight is the worst. So much waiting around and stressing. And also trying to sleep and you can't sleep. You go to bed at like 6 o'clock and you can't sleep at all. Right, here we go with the last kilometre, or the last full kilometre. Great work, everybody. Let's speed up again. So Belmonte is about to finish the run, a kilometre ahead of us. Come on, Kerry. Kerry's just a little bit behind there. 19 seconds. Come on, you can do it, Kerry. Skanky, Monica. Skanky means... what does it mean? Oh, you'll have to look it up in the Urban Dictionary. It's just a bit rubbish and a bit dirty and a bit low life. We don't have any dodgy areas in South Gloucestershire, says Ultra Jeff. Jeff, you don't have any areas in South Gloucestershire at all. There are no areas of South Gloucestershire. Ryan Perring says, what you're saying is you're a posho who only shops at Waitrose, just to say you shop at Waitrose, and openly pay more for the same stuff. That is true, apart from the fact that I don't do the shopping, but we also have a Lidl immediately opposite our local Waitrose. So we go posh shopping for some stuff, and then for other stuff we go skanky shopping. But the other thing to think is my wife does the main shopping and she buys all the cereal from Lidl, and it's all that pretend crunchy nut cornflakes, pretend Weetabix, pretend shredded wheat. Oh my god, I hate it. I can't stand all that like little own brand cereals. They're just not the same. Yes, Waitrose in a suit, Lidl in a tracksuit. Monica, Waitrose, so Waitrose is a kind of a bit of a a posh shop, so shall we say. So you've got lots of kind of middling shops, so like Asda, which is owned by Walmart. Asda is your cheap budget supermarket. Lidl, L-I-D-L, yeah, is even less salubrious than that. But then you've got all your other shops like Sainsbury's, Tesco, kind of your average shopper. And then you've got people who want to spend more money for no reason, who go to Waitrose, which is kind of, I mean, I know you don't have a class system in the States, but you know, high society, not high society, but those who like to think of themselves as a bit more above the rest of society. There's no need to shop there at all because it's just all the same stuff, just more expensive, but it's a social thing. But we kind of go between the two, so we shop at Waitrose just to look cool, and Lidl for the value. No, they're not the same. Like, Lidl Crunchy Nut Cornflakes taste horrible compared to Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. I promise you. They're not the same. And yes, Lidl Bakery is nice. You're right. Well, alright, you know, the old style class system, upper class, lower class, middle class. I know you have rich and poor. I know that. Gosh, heart rate now nearly 150. But we're getting to the end. I always like to be controversial. The thing is, I do always like to pretend that I'm posher than I am. I've said this before plenty of times, you all know this. Because my dad is classic northern working class, but my mum came from a bit more of a middle class background. And so I have this kind of dichotomy of social hierarchy, where I like to think of myself as, you know, upper middle class, but in reality, I'm working class. Ryan Perring says, my HR is rising because I'm stressed over this shop debate. You're probably right. See, I don't shop at Sainsbury's or Tesco because I feel like a nobody. At least if I go to Lidl or Waitrose, I'm a somebody. I'm either too posh for my own good or the dregs of society. One or the other, two extremes. I can happily live with both, but I can't live with mediocrity. Living in the middle, rubbish. Heart rate 152, my goodness me. Heart rate 151. Cadence 170. With about 400 meters to go.
Nice.
Okay, Steve Milne says Lidl's vegetable pizza slices in the bakery are great. Monica says, I love the culture training I get on this channel. Well, across the divide, we are very similar in many ways, the UK and the US, but massively different in many other ways. Same as the UK and Australia, and same as the UK and the rest of Europe. So many ways in which everyone is the same. Lots of ways in which we're all different. Posh running. What is posh? I like that. Posh running. Amazing work, everyone. Full stop. Fast as you like for the final 200 metres. See you all next week. So, finishing the Film My Run 500. Last run before we do 100 miles on Zwift. Starting tomorrow night. Come and join us, even just to watch for a bit. So watch tomorrow evening and then come back and watch again for the end just before 8 o'clock on Saturday evening. Join us for 100 miles tomorrow evening, 8 PM UK time. "24 hours on Zwift." Nearly there, 154 BPM.
Right on.
So definitely sweating, definitely done some work. There's the start, there's the finish line rather. And we're done. So a fast 5k in the legs from last night and a climbing session this morning. Definitely need a little bit of rest for the rest of the day and tomorrow. So we will see you tomorrow night. No more live streams today. We will be live from around about 7:45 tomorrow. And hopefully we will start bang on 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Looking forward to it. Well, I'm dreading it, as you know, these things are always tough, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing, but obviously there's that kind of trepidation in my mind, you know, butterflies in the stomach. Can I do it? Can you go at that speed on the treadmill for 24 hours? Are we how lost are we going to get? Hopefully we all will have an idea of where we're supposed to be going. But I think the main thing is we should try not to stress it. If it becomes clear that we're not going to make 24 hours, then I think we just relax and just get the job done. So we finish the 100 miles. Whether it takes us 24 hours or 25, we get the job done. It'd be great if we can do it in 24 hours, but let's not stress it too much tomorrow night. So we're going to count it down. So we'll be doing 40 kilometers in 6 hours. So we're going at Eddie Izzard pace. 6 hours for a marathon, basically. 40 kilometers in 6 hours. 80 kilometers in 12 hours. 18 hours, we should hit 120 kilometers. And then 161 kilometers in 24. So just, it's slightly over, isn't it? But, you know, give or take. Right, okay, that is it. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Well done today if you took part. And thanks for chat. Sebastian says, see you tomorrow. Amy, see you tomorrow. Monica, the dogs will be joining your run as well. Thank you, Monica. That's good. Amy says, great running, everyone. Monica says, we will see you on your posh run working on your working class treadmill. No, this is a posh treadmill. Right, look, this is a Waitrose treadmill. Well, is it a Waitrose? It's almost a Waitrose treadmill. Yes, no, it probably is, because Harrods would be the Woodway treadmill. So this is a Waitrose treadmill, and the Noble Pro is a Tesco treadmill. It's not an Asda treadmill, because Asda treadmills you would buy from Asda or Argos on, budget cheapo treadmill. But the Noble Pro is definitely a Tesco treadmill. So quality stuff, reasonable price. This is a Waitrose treadmill, so probably overpriced but really good. Ryan Perring says, cheers, rest up and prep. Not 100% on my plans yet, but hope to tune in when I can to encourage. Thanks, Ryan. Cheers, buddy. Right, take care, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.